Welcome back, the Paint Pod, episode 4, educating through the conversation. Today we've got a special one for you guys. He's not a painter, but he's a very successful businessman. I'm sure we'll get a lot out of this gentleman. Raf from Lorenzo Ceramics, welcome to the pod.
So obviously the business was started in 1985, as we've explained before. The family joined, the first daughter joined, I think, at 3 years after the business had started, which was Maria. And then Jack and Sally pretty much decided that if the family was going to join, they'd keep the business going. Once I got married in 93, we'd been in the corporate world. We were a little bit sick and tired of the hours, working for someone else, and we thought, you know what, we could see the potential of the business. We could see that it needed to change. So when we joined the business, it was primarily just a supply and fix company. We had no private clients. Builders just sent clients. We obviously thought, from where we could see the business moving forward, that we needed to diversify, and that's when we made the decision that we'd open up more of a retail sort of business. So along came, 93, 94, we started looking at land, we started expanding the business. We built our own facilities. We built 2-3 facilities between 93 and 2000. And obviously the flagship store, which was the biggest store in Australia, was built in Bella Vista. 3,000 metres of retail space, 5,000 metres of warehousing. And that pretty much put us on the map for tile shops in Australia. We had the largest store in Australia. We weren't the biggest footprints in stores across Australia, but we were the largest retailer of tiles in New South Wales at that time. That obviously, the business grew 30-40% just from one move. And like any small business, any family business, you have those teething problems. We didn't have a good management structure. A lot of the work was done by the family. By that time, we had 4 sister-in-laws. All the 4 sisters were working in the business, and 2 brother-in-laws. And we were working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. But we understood that we needed to bring, external people into our organisation. By the year 2001, 2002, we'd employed external managers. So we had warehouse managers, operations managers. We implemented sales managers to look after our stores and our staff. So then the plan was to continue to grow the retail business. So we opened up 2 more stores within the next 2-3 years. Redfern opened, then we opened up Pyrmont as a commercial architectural design store. And then we have obviously expanded our business into Newcastle. The key was to continue to grow retail because we needed another avenue of income, another revenue stream, because we were too heavily reliant on the builder market. Then obviously, as you all know, by 2008, 2009, there was a crash. A lot of builders went broke. And again, we needed to look at overheads, and the world had changed. The internet had come along. Social media had come along. So people didn't need to come. Customers didn't need to come to a store that was 2,000 metres to view tiles. So that then we had to again look at our structure and look at the ways we could change. So what we decided to do was we decided that we had to sell Bella Vista. Obviously, that freed up a lot of cash for the business, and it allowed us to look at other areas that we could expand to. So once that happened, we then were able to expand into other areas. We opened up Waterloo, we opened up Willoughby, and obviously in the last 5 years we've opened up Drummoyne and Cooks Hill and relocated to where we are now. The business obviously over the last 25, 30 years has changed. It's now not reliant on the family making all the decisions on a day-to-day basis. We now have managers in all our stores that run our stores. We have warehouse managers, we have operational managers that can pretty much make any decision they can and they want to make, obviously. The family, yes, we still have our roles that we undertake. Myself, obviously, I've been the general manager now for over 20 years. I don't get too involved in the day-to-day anymore, but I still have an overviewing role. I still obviously am very influential in a lot of the business relationships that we have with our builders. It still represents probably about 50 to 55% of our revenue stream. And those relationships that I have existed for over 20 years, a lot of them. They're very loyal clients of ours. But again, we talk about family business. We have, very important, we have the same culture that they have, the same values in business that they have. So they're easy transactions on a day-to-day basis. I mean, Eden Bray's been with us for 25 years and I know their directors and owners very well. And, we can pick up the phone and talk to them anytime that I want. And I find 9 times out of 10, we don't talk about business anymore. We're talking about common interests that we have. We're talking about families that we have, where their children are at, where my children are at, and where we are as a business. They speak openly about their business plans, and I can speak openly about our business plans. So,
Raf, tell us about the early days. The big step from having a little showroom, which I know was in Blacktown, to that next step up. What was it? Was it bringing more people in?
Yeah, I think, look, as a business, and I'm sure a lot of people will agree with this, you never stand still. And as much as when I joined and we were on Sunny Hot Road, Blacktown, we knew that if we had to grow, we had to be better than our opposition. You had to be better. You had to be the market leader in what you did, and you had to find your space in the industry. So we weren't about being the bottom end. We weren't about being the cheapest. We found that our market was bringing in good quality Italian tiles in that medium price market to high end. We then found that how could we be different? A lot of tile shops back then were run by, husbands and wives. There were some franchisees like the likes of Tilecraft and Amber. So we thought, okay, those people are already in that space. How can we be better? So we made sure that all our showrooms were designed to be the best place that people could walk into. For example, our store at Bella Vista was designed by the gentleman that designed all the David Jones stores.
Can I just say on that, I remember Bella Vista very well. It was stunning. It was something different. It was something, just the floors. It was it was stunning.
Yeah.
And it made me feel, I felt like I was walking through my house.
Yeah.
More than it was a showroom.
Yeah. Well,
it was
back
a pleasant
then,
place to go.
That's right. Back then we designed it. We wanted people to feel like they were going to an art gallery.
Yes, exactly.
It was spacious.
You took the words out of my mouth, yes.
Yes, and it was spacious. People walked in and they could envisage those tiles being laid in their homes. And, the step from, like I said, from Sunny Hot Road, when it was a very simple business, to the year 2000, which was 7 years after Maria and Tina and myself joined. In 7 years, we went from Sunny Hot Road to Bella Vista, which was a state-of-the-art showroom. And again, we saw the vision that we had to create an environment where people wanted to come.
Can you talk to me about the growing pain between the Blacktown to Bella Vista?
Oh, look, George, we went from 6 people at Blacktown to 7 years having 25 staff, 25 to 30 staff. From a systems point of view, we were operating very simple paper-based, to introducing a computer system that did pretty much everything. We went from, me being on the showroom floor to all of a sudden having a sales force, a sales manager that was looking after 7, 8 salespeople. It was a massive jump. Did our systems had to grow? Yes, there were problems. You know, we weren't as proactive in those systems initially. We thought that, you know, by having managers, they could control everything, control the staff. You know, training manuals had to be rolled out for the sales staff. I remember, and probably, you know, rolling out, good old, you know, vision, culture, mission statement days when we brought everyone together to, you know, as much as the family was involved and we knew the mission and we knew the values of the business, trying to get 30 people to believe that, when you had 7 people that had to believe that, that was easy. You know, we lived and breathed it. So it was hard. It was hard. You know, we were lucky we found excellent people that we still have today. A lot of people have been with us for 20 odd years.
Tell me about that. Tell me about the staff retention and
look,
and I know because my wife, I'll put it out
absolutely.
there. My wife works for and wouldn't work anywhere else. I know for a fact.
Look, you know, we have 55 staff now. I would say 10 of those people have been with us for over 20 years. Wow. You know, it was hard to get. We never used to have a high turnover of staff initially when the business, in the first 10, 15 years that I was here. And it really used to hurt us as a business why people would leave. And like, you know, people sometimes reach a ceiling within your business. They can't do any more for you. And I remember I used to I don't do it as much anymore, but I used to interview the people as they left because, you know, it used to really, I suppose I wanted to know why they left. And now obviously I understand that, you know, we employ a lot of younger people that, you know, after 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, they want to move on because we can't, sometimes as a business that we have, a family business, we can't provide any more for these people. There's no more role for them to take. So, you know, we found that, you know, the people that have stayed with us for 20 years are happy to stay. And there's various roles. A lot of those might be admin roles. They might be warehousing roles. We've had some of our managers, like you said, Anna, and others that have been with us a very long time. But we've been able, fortunately, to find new challenges for people within our business, and it meant that they've stayed.
Tell me, what were some of the biggest challenges in terms of the growth part of it? The people, bit of everything. You know what I mean? Because selling tiles, and I know you've got another arm in the business of fix as well, supplying fix as well. And tell me something. Tell me a little bit about that as well.
The biggest thing to growth is always managing the growth and the capital investment that you need. And I know that was extremely difficult at the beginning. You know, we had to obviously fund a lot of that through, you know, external parties, through the banks. And that was hard because, as you can appreciate, you've got external funding. As we've grown as a business, we've been able to obviously, you know, a lot of our growth now comes from internal. We're able to fund our growth because we've been successful at what we've been doing for the last 20, 25 years. Look, we've had obviously the installation, the supply and install that's great because that's been continuing, that's business that's always there. And obviously with that, it assists in your cash flow. As much as you're funding it through builders, it's constant. It's coming in every day. You're not relying on, you know, the retail, because conversion of retail takes a long time. So when you're working with builders or ongoing clients, that money's coming in all the time. So we're able to use that money to fund any expansion. So that's been able to help with, you know, expansion over the last 10 years. I mean, we pretty much had a new store every 2 to 3 years over the last 10 years. And with any new store, as you know, George, it doesn't produce money in the first year, 2 years. You know, there's our average store, a store like this that you're in here today at Northmead, there's probably a capital outlay of 300,000 to get it up and running, to get it to this level. But
it's a beautiful store, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. But we're fortunate, we've got a great team. I think that's been the real benefit of having good managers in place. Diana, you know, the training. that we undertake with our staff, and having someone like Anna here that's been with us for 20 years, understands the culture and what we stand for in the business. She understands, new staff come along under her guidance are able to ensure that the customer receives an incredible experience.
Tell me about one of your real passions.
Yes.
The exclusivity of the tiles. Some tiles you have are just made for Lorenzo.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, I think
that intrigues me.
I think one thing that we've always had, whether a lot of the family, it became a fashion industry after we joined. I mean, I think up until the early 90s, there wasn't a lot of change in the marketplace. But I think once we came along, we saw that we developed it and to be a fashion type industry for us. Mm-hmm. Every year we're going to Bologna. Tina and Diana go to Bologna every year. We're buying the latest exclusive product, and a lot of the product that you see in a Di Lorenzo store is exclusive to us. We've ensured that we're able to have that that competitive edge over our opposition. That everything you see here is exclusive to us. We're choosing the latest designs from Italy and Spain. So when we're choosing something, we're looking at it and thinking, okay, would we love to have this at our place? And that's the real passion. Every product that we buy, we look at it and we love it. We can feel it, we can see it within our own homes. We can see it most importantly in our customers' homes.
And can I just butt in and say something? Because we've done our bathrooms recently.
Yes.
And I've done our bathrooms recently, and everybody who walks in is absolutely dazzled, and they say, "quote We haven't found these tiles anywhere."
That's right.
Yeah. And they go, "Well, you won't.
Yeah.
It's exclusive to Di Lorenzo."
That's right. And I think when Tina and Diana do attend the Bologna show, and when the sales reps from Italy are out here, we're choosing product that is different because we want people to have something that's exclusive to them, as opposed to a lot of the generic product that's in the marketplace. For example, if we buy something from Italy, the depth in design that the Italians can achieve, and you've seen it at your place, George, you can't get that from an Asian product reproduced in China that's been copied. They don't have the depth in colour. They don't have 25, 30, 40 different faces that gives the customer that ultimate experience and that unique experience in their home. And that's what we love. We love looking at some of these products because, the burgundy one that we have to my left here, the depth in colour.
Spectacular.
It's spectacular. And that's what we love. And that's why every day when new product arrives on our showroom floors, the excitement that I see, firstly in our staff, and then when I see it, I think, wow, that's just amazing. And we're so excited to present it to the market and obviously to the end user, which is our client. So.
Tell me, every store is a little bit different. I know that the ones in Waterloo, they're more commercial.
Yeah.
Can you explain some of the stores and the difference between store to store?
Yeah, look.
This one here's more a retailer.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, a lot of our stores are designed to be the same way. They're very similar in the way they flow, similar in sort of the display spaces, but some of them obviously we're working with smaller spaces. So we have to be more creative in how we display our products. And our tile libraries are very important. And for example, Waterloo, yes, they have a lot more designers that go into Waterloo, which means that our staff there have to be obviously, their skill levels have to be a little bit higher as well. But when you're dealing with designers, they get it. Yeah. They look at one tile, they can visualize it. A store like Northmead, where it's and Willoughby and Drummoyne, for example, it's more of a retail focus where Mr. and Mrs. Smith are coming in. It might be the first time that they've ever looked at tiles, or it might be their first house or their first renovation.
This is a little bit like Bella Vista. It's a bit like an art gallery, yeah?
It is. And I think, look, from the year 2000 to the year 2026, we've obviously evolved but you still do get that feeling of the open space. And where we've been able to provide an open space, that's the real value that we provide to our customer that comes in. The lighting, the space, the displays. Waterloo, we're just about to expand another 200 metres because we want people to be able to stand back, visualise the product in their homes.
Raf, what's the end goal? I know. At the end of the day, we're going to make a living.
Yeah.
But I know you, and I know the family. It's more than that. It's deeper than that. And you talk about customer satisfaction.
Yeah.
I realise that. Is there anything more? Is there more there?
Oh,
Is
look.
there a legacy? Is there?
Yeah, look, I think, the fact that, we've been able to take it into the second generation after my father-in-law Jack started, I think the satisfaction that's provided to them is cannot be explained. I think we look back and look at, we've done very well to grow this business to the level. Look, we love every day that we come in. I mean, we enjoy it, the whole family, the 4 sisters, the 3 brother-in-laws that work in the business. We've now got the next generation. Obviously, Olivia, my daughter, has joined the business. Her husband is now in the business.
The kids are in too.
Yeah, so we're into the 3rd generation now. Look, the goal is obviously to continue the business in what we've been doing. Expansion is always a consideration. We want to keep delivering our product to more and more of our clients, the end user. Whether we go into different states, obviously is always on the cards as far as we're concerned. We really want to, what we're doing, we want to always improve it, George. We still do things that, we're not happy with, and we want to continue to try and improve those. We obviously continue to develop the products that we're able to bring to our clients. The future of the business is in safe hands. I mean, look, we've got, operations manager George. He's a lot younger than myself, and his wife, they're a lot younger. We still have a passion for the business. There's no.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
How intentional are things? How deeply thought all your systems and processes, and how intentional? So I assume, that piece of pole being there is thought about,
Absolutely.
Tested.
Absolutely.
So across the business, how you and the family, how deep do you go into conversation regarding business and work?
Look, everything is discussed within the 7 of us. We don't make a decision in respect of any, major operational expansion, financial commitments, unless all seven of us are involved. Obviously, Maria being the financial background, she's very heavily involved in a lot of that. But everything is decided, at our management meetings. For example, a layout of a store. It's obviously determined by, Diana, Tina, Belinda, Olivia. Then that's presented to the family. Everyone has an input. So everything that we do is done together as a collaborative. If I've got an idea about expansion, obviously I do the research. I then present that to the family.
How about the nitty-gritty things, the everyday things?
Oh, look, day-to-day takes care of itself. I think, like for example, operationally,
Yes.
George will do operational decision-making. In relation to all our retail sales stores, Diana is in charge of that. Marketing, Instagram, social media, that's run by Tina, and obviously Olivia is involved in that. Merchandising of our stores, it just happens. A lot of systems in place.
Yeah.
That just happens, and
Do you actually have official SOPs?
what, visual?
No, official SOPs, systems and processes?
Yes, absolutely. Yes,
Do you
yes.
ever-
We should have a lot more of them, George. I won't lie. We need a lot more of that, and I think that obviously gets developed as we get bigger and bigger. We still obviously rely on our managers to do a lot of that retail sales training. For example, George is very heavily involved in the operational side of the business. Yes, look, that's one area that we're always looking at improving. AI will obviously assist us with that.
What was when you went to uni, what was your background?
I did accounting background.
Okay.
So we're chartered accountants, Maria and
So-
myself.
Yeah. And one last question. Let's say, so this pod's generally for painters, and
Yeah.
and the majority of painters tend to be under $1 million,
Yes.
probably 2 or 3 people together,
Yeah.
something like your tilers,
Yeah.
to your tilers. What's some biggest, if they want to grow, what's in your experience, because you've been there and done it, what's some of your advice, one of your biggest advice to
Well,
painters?
look, like any good trade, they have to understand the numbers, right? You can be the best painter, the best mechanic, the best tiler, but you've got to understand your numbers, what it costs you to go to work, what margin you're going to make on that job. Because what I find is a lot of good trades do a lot of hard work, but they never make money. So I think you need to
80%,
sit
I'll
down,
suggest you
have a
80%.
good financial understanding of your business, get good sound advice. I think that's one thing that we've always had, having an accounting background between Maria and myself. We've always looked at the numbers. Everything, or it's in my nature, everything I look at is a number. It starts with the numbers, you know, every new contract. So for example, you as a painter, you go and give a quote, whether you're painting a unit block, you need to know your numbers. You need to know your numbers. You need to have
Where it starts
understand that. So that's where it starts, I think. You need to have numbers. If you're not good at numbers, associate yourself with someone that's good at numbers. And look, there's a lot of accounting packages you can buy, or just go get yourself a bookkeeper. He can tell you the numbers. Like, you know what you need.
It goes deeper than that, I think.
You know what I mean?
On
I
the
think
numbers.
that's what I think at the end of the day, understand the numbers, and you know what? Be honest in your business dealings. If you're honest, you'll always finish in front.
Yeah.
I think that's what I've always found.
And is that the way for growth?
I think in your dealings, I think people have to trust you. You have to be honest, right? The values you have, because people can judge you. I look at you, and you've been in business for a long time, George. You'll always come across as a very honest person. And when I deal with people, and I have a lot of clients that I deal with, and I look at the value system, and if we have the same value system, we can do business together. Like if I go and see a homeowner, and I can see their honesty, their values, the business relationship can exist. I think that's the key. Everyone that I've dealt with that has helped me grow my business, we've always been aligned.
Yeah.
And they've committed to my business, and I've committed to their business because we've been aligned.
Thank you for your time.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.